I've read a lot of books over the year, mostly in the personal development space. I don't try to remember everything. I just try to remember one thing. If I can remember that one thing and I implement it, then I will say that's a good book. If I still am doing that one thing and it's been years later, 5 years later, that's when I know this is valuable information, those golden nuggets, which is what we strive for when reading a book. These 5 books, where some of them I haven't read in years, I'm still using certain golden nuggets till this day. I break my life up into pillars called the Life Framework. Life is an acronym of my pillars. I do this because so many times I felt like if school was going well, basketball was slipping, or basketball was going well, my relationship was slipping. Then I felt like my health was slipping. I wasn't getting enough sleep. I always felt like I was trading one thing for the other. And I never really want to be that person that was super successful in their career, but then their marriage sucked, or they had just this loving family, but then didn't have the money to provide certain experiences, which is why I created these pillars so that I could start living life more intentional. Not perfectly, intentionally. And I've been building and refining them ever since. A lot of these books shape these principles or ideas, which is why I built being a lifestyle achiever. Not just chasing success, but actually creating a life that serves you. And these 5 books help build this. The first one, which I read in El Salvador, the Almanack of Naval, Ravikant. This book gave me clarity that I'd already felt. I just didn't fully understand it. And when I hear about someone that is both successful and happy, I pay attention. I take the time to listen and learn, observe, and think. And this was one of those books for me. I can remember when I was reading this book. I was in El Salvador, I was sitting on the balcony, and the Hulk flew by. I could see the volcanoes in the background. But I was coming off a super long work week, was doing weekend work Saturday and Sunday. And when I say I could not put this book down, I was out there in the hot, sweating, dripping, and I'm still reading this book. What was really interesting about this book is that the first half is about success, and the second half was about happiness. There's so much of what I do. It wasn't just one or the other feeling I have to choose. It's like a constant thing that I debate or think about a lot. This was talking about how to have both, and just seeing someone else doing it and being like, I want to do that too. The main takeaway is that you have to find your obsession. You have to find the things you're obsessed with and then go after it, work hard for it. It's like, man, there's certain things I do and I'm good at, but I'm not obsessed with. But I'm good. I'm good at basketball. I'm not obsessed with it. Kobe Jordan, obsessed with it. Caitlin Clark, obsessed with it. Asia Wilson, obsessed with it. And so it's like, you got to find those things for you. And I think that's what I'd been missing for so long. I knew I wanted the freedom, the money, the entrepreneurship could bring back. Just hone in on what I'm obsessed with. And after reading it, it's like, yeah, why not compete at the things you love? This book helped me understand that both matter. Once I had that clarity, everything else made more sense. Another nugget that I still use is no one can beat you at being you. And that's all about authenticity. There's not going to be another you. So hone into what you're obsessed with. For me, it happened to be this framework idea of I want to be great at health, relationships, making money, knowledge, and feeling spiritually aligned. I just want to have it all. For me, it's this weird thing of being great at it, but not letting being great at health consume me so much that I stop caring about the other things. That's my big thing I'm obsessed with is, hey, can I have it all? I found out that my obsession is having this life framework where I have different pillars in my life. The first one is self-mastery, self-growth. I always want to just see who I can become. How good can I be at something? It drives me in everything. Being good at it and finding ways to keep getting better has always been amazing because I just want to see who I can become and evolve. At the end of life for me, I just imagine that there's like the person God was like, yo, this is the person that here God shows me, here's Alasia at full potential. Not perfect, just like you maxed out on your potential. And then where I am. My goal is to keep trying to be the best version of myself. Not necessarily always the most successful version, just the best version of myself. Some of that is peace. Some of that is contentment. Some of that is drive. My first thing is being obsessed with getting better, becoming that person that can handle more, do more, be more, have more energy. The next obsession is the balancing of it all. Freedom. Of not being so hyper-focused that everything else in your life suffers, which is why I have that framework of like, okay, make more money, but not at the expense of not showing up for family. Be there for friends, but you still have to make sure that your health's in order. You can't just be going out partying because they want to party. And so I became obsessed with balancing and making sure I'm aligned, having the health, having the money, having the good relationships, having the family dynamic, doing it all. My goal is never to outbeat someone that hyper-focuses on just business. But my goal is to try to be the best at everything, and that takes balance. And I love figuring out how to have that self-mastery and that freedom through systems. And so that's my obsession. The next book that I used as audiobook was The 4-Hour Body. This one was really personal for me. People probably heard of The 4-Hour Workweek. This is The 4-Hour Body by Tim Harris. I remember I stepped on the scale. And then I went back to my desk. I was working from home. What am I doing? I used to be an athlete, played in college, tore my ACL in the tournament championship game. Probably went through tough times. Not only did you lose the sport, but now you have to go through 9 months of rehab and you have no team when you get back. My college career is over. That's how it ended. I gained weight. I never got back to feeling like I should. You start working a career and you're not doing the college life. And it was a lot for me. I was trying things. I was trying more workouts, more cardio, more restriction. And I think I was overcomplicating it. And this book simplified it. I didn't need to do more. I needed to understand what actually works. For me, it became like walking more because some of the things my body wasn't really there yet. I ended up having to go to get some more physical therapy and performance strength training years later. But back then, I was like 218. And like 170 in my college peak athletic career. So that's like 45 pounds different. I did something simple. I can't say it's the healthiest thing. If I did a coffee and creamer and I would eat 1 meal a day and eat less, I'd order Chipotle or Wendy's, get a bunch of protein and just have a meal and not really care what I ate. I did simple meals. I tracked. I walked my dog more, got more steps. It reduced that decision fatigue and I lost 20 pounds. From walking my dog and simplifying eating. I stopped thinking I had to suffer to get results. It's really easy. Calories, it's like 3,500 a pound. Taking less than you burn and you're good to go. I realized trying to get these heavy workouts and being like, I can't lose weight because I'm not like the athlete I used to be. Really, it's like diet, walk more, and then everything gets easier from there. That book just made it simple. It's a quick read. Makes sense, easy to do. All right, so the next book, Psychology of Money. I'll have it on me. I remember reading this book and I couldn't put it down. It was such a good read. I was like, I know most of these things. Like, okay, I'm doing this. I got this done. But the question is, what's the number one key to happiness? And I'm like, I don't know. Maybe it's gratitude, appreciation, fulfillment, growth. And the book said, it's freedom. It hit me because the book said, it's freedom. I was thinking about it. I'm trying to gauge if it was right or not. Because for me, I was like, oh, it's going to be gratitude easy. That's when I realized that money isn't the goal. Freedom is. Money is a tool that helps create freedom. And for me, it's not just big things like taking in the trips, but sometimes it's just small things. Having time, being able to take a break when I feel like it. Show up to work when I want. Take my dog on a walk and get a coffee. Like freedom, there's so many things tied to that. And some things right now, I'm in a situation where I still have to go to work. Like I can't just not go to work today. I'm sure business owners feel like that too. Like you have clients, you have responsibilities. But ultimately, the more free we can get, the better. Like even knowing, hey, I don't have to work anymore. This is a choice. There's something with that does lead to more happiness. We've talked about the Almanack of Naval, Ravikant, which gave me this happiness success. And we talked about L, which is love for my pillar. So we talked about psychology and money. That's the freedom. It used to be fun, but I turned it to freedom because I realized that it's not just about fun. It's the freedom to do things. So now we're going to go to E, which is earn. And I'm going to do Alex Hormozy 100M Money Models. This one changed how I operated business. This one tied it together for me. I was like, okay, I got it now. This is gold. And I was on a 5-hour drive and I was just listening to it straight through. And instead of just consuming it, I applied it immediately. I changed my offer. I built my course and sold something I created. And that was a huge shift for me because I went from learning to doing. I went from learning to building. The key takeaway from this book is making more money isn't always about doing more. It's about adding value and the perception of the value that you're adding. This book helped tie things for me together. It's a great read on relationships, how I love myself. The book is How to Be Loved. This one was really emotional for me because it made me realize how much of my understanding of love came from my childhood. One line that stuck with me is that your parents are living their first life too. That gave me a powerful perspective. My parents had me young. They were figuring out life. I had support. My family has always believed in me. Instead of blaming or questioning, it gave me understanding. Getting outside of my perspective and seeing it from my parents' eyes is like, wow. It gives more appreciation, more gratitude. I love my parents. They've done a lot for me, and they've always believed in me and supported me. It gives more understanding of why they're doing the things they're doing or why they have certain beliefs that have been passed down. I'm trying to grow and evolve and keep challenging the beliefs for myself. I challenge it for my parents. And so this gave me a better understanding of it all. It was extremely helpful because it gave more grace, more acceptance, less judgment, not only for them, but for myself, which I had struggled with. I think my whole family struggles with that strong inner critic. By understanding and getting outside of myself to see it from their point of view and then bringing it back and being like, wow, I should give myself grace and better understanding. Silenced the inner critic and things got better. I always felt like the inner critic was there to keep me on my A game. I think how we love, how we understand it, how we see things, what's different with our friends in our relationships, because the people we choose to be in our lives affects us deeper. In relationships, those things come out more. This book was huge for my relationships at the time, the relationship with myself, the relationship with family. Having that awareness was healing and important for me to read and understanding, acceptance and grace. These 5 books really shaped my life. I'm a big advocate for reading. I do want to get in some other genres besides personal development and nonfiction, but I genuinely enjoy it, getting other perspectives. Growing up, we don't always have these mentors right next to us. And so sometimes reading it makes it more believable. For me, I break limiting beliefs. It causes me to challenge my thinking, to reflect. And so I'm a big advocate for reading. These books changed my life. Even if you're just able to take one nugget, just like one thing I can do, one thing I can implement. And I think if you go from learning and reading and understanding to actually doing and implementing, people will realize how big of an impact books can be. Do it. Challenge yourself. Get a different perspective. I read a lot of autobiographies. Those are more for fun, but hearing stories, hearing people overcome challenges, it helps get me that I can do this and get inspired and encouraged. If it's a lot, try to choose one thing that sticks out to you. That's the thing I'm going to implement. I used to have an Excel sheet where I had a column. Here's what I'm going to implement from each book. And I can only choose one thing. As always, I'm rooting for you. I believe in you. Go live life intentionally.